So, hey everyone, so with ARD, Agile Designer, Agile Requirements Designer, you want to think about where does it fit in your environment? Well, you want to get your user stories from, your BA or whoever. Most of the times they're going to be in a third party. We're going to use Rally as our example. And then you can bring it into ARD, however you want, to build your test cases, and then you export those. Now, I'm going to do another video on scripting. It's going to be very short, extremely fast, so make sure you check that one out if you're into it. But what we're going to do now is we actually want to bring our data into Rally and back out of Rally. So if I look at Rally, I've logged in. I have one user story. My user story is the user should be able to log in. Now, what does that do with me over here? If I look at Agile Designer, minimize this, and if I look at my connectors, I have a connection to Rally. Now, I just basically log in. Now, I'm not Dan. This is a guy on our team, but he's the Rally guru. So I'm using his account. I do have one user story that I can click on. Now, I can bring this user story over and use it in my path. But the one thing you want to make sure you do is make sure your configuration for the user story is set up. And I apologize, this keeps opening up the other window. Let me drag it over if I can get a hold of it. Give me 1 second. There we go. Now, if I look at Rally, this is going to say, okay, what do you want to do? So the only thing I do here is in my user story, well, we're going to bring over test cases. You have to map the fields. These are the fields from Rally. This is the fields from ARD. Okay, so in this case, I want description to be description. Let's see if there's one for images. I don't think so. I think it's just part of your description. Nope, that's all I have. So I can bring ready. Some of the stuff I can bring over basically. So we'll say useful, risks are low, package A. Let's not do package because I don't know what they're doing with that. So we'll say that value. Owner, we'll make it Dan. Okay, and that's all you gotta do. Up here, I match my notes to my block description, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna save and close. Okay, and you would do that for TFS and everything else. Sorry, I closed it before I said that, but it all works the same. Now I'm gonna close this because I'm not gonna use it here. We have this really cool flow called Leg Before Wicked. It has a massive data in it. So if I click on this, now I don't want to get into this too far, but with this data, if you're connected to TDM, if I add a variable, then let's say, delete this. So this data is not going to exist because I don't have a database called Brawler. This is about baseball. But here I can open this up. It wants to connect to TDM, test data management. I have plenty of videos out there for that. It just wants to save. So if I go ahead and save it, I have to go one level deeper. Nope, we're good. You actually get the Data Painter, which is one of the coolest parts of TDM, which is really awesome for ARD. Now, if I do this, I can say, give me a random list. It's not that, I'm sorry. But the concept is you get your, here we go, list of values. You actually get your same seed lists and stuff that you get inside TDM. So if I do names, let's just do French names. And then with the French names, I can say 0. Okay. And now I actually am using what I consider almost regex to get this massive cool data. Now that's what they've done here. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to change what they've done. And even if I go inside some of these other ones, I can see I have images, my test data. It's just really good example of using some detailed data. Here's a decision table. Now decision tables are pretty straightforward. In a decision table, I can upload what decisions make my output. And here in my cases, my output is either out or not out. Again, this is baseball. So based off my variables, if my variable is yes, for has reviews, if the brawler has reviews, if the brawler uses review, and the decision reversed, then he's out. Okay, that's how that works. So decision tables aren't too hard. I may do a video on that, but I can add another column if I need. But I don't want to do that right now, just because this is not what this video is about. See, out, and there's not an image for not out. I thought maybe one for not out, but that's okay. So what we want to do now is we want to basically push this over here, create our test cases. So I have 2 main paths, and I'm okay with that. Well, what is my all possible paths? Let's see what we have. Okay, I have 28. So we're going to stick with that. So I have some good ones here. Some outs, not outs. Now I'm going to save this. This is going over here. It's going to generate this. Yeah, it's fine. Tell me that this changed. I'm okay with it. Yes, I am. Now what we're going to do here is we're only focusing on creating these user stories. Let's say with the coolness of going through here and massively changing this. I have details. I have some good runs. I have some automation. You know, we have our examples over here, our variables. So here's our test data, which is technically just our variables. Our importance, you know, what type of block it is. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, did it close? Nope, it closed. So what we're going to do now is say, you know what, we're happy with our user stories. Let's go ahead and push this to Rally. Okay, our Rally popped up over here. If I say, you know what, these are test cases that fall under this user story. And I actually want to attach the images. So let's say okay. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's already running. If I go over here and hit refresh, I can click in here since it's done. Let's get the details. And it's going to take some time, but it's already got one over there because it's actually rendering those pictures. But if you see, Leg Before Wicked, here's my notes. And if there's an image, it will actually come through. So I'm going to pause the video and let this finish unless we get more. Oh, so they're slowly coming through. We eventually would get all 60. So if I go to here and go to test cases, because that's what they are, we can see them come through. And again, if I didn't do images, they wouldn't take as long. But I kind of wanted to do the image just to show you that it's a possibility that that can actually happen. And they should be attachments. I don't know if this has one. Oh, here they are. So here's the attachments. So notice it actually attached all the images. Pretty cool, huh? And that's all you gotta do to merge those.